Welcome back to the Rising Podcast. I'm Xavier, and you're joined here with KaBria and Cayman. Black person of the day.
Of course, let me go first. You feel me?
Surf our way into this intro. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Rising Podcast. It's still Black History Month. How we doing, Black people?
We is good. We is blessed, black, and highly favored. How y'all doing?
Doing good. We fresh off the Super Bowl. A little devastating.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it?
I was just about to say, not
yes,
really.
Yes, it was. I was rooting for the
rooting for the Niners.
No, I'm not a Niners fan. I'm not a Niners fan, but I was rooting for the Niners because I wanted California to win. That's it. So everyone tried to be haters, and I get that. Like, that's not your team or whatever, but it's like when you're in the same state as the people who's representing you, it's kind of like, in my opinion, but you know,
that was the only reason I was going for the Niners, outside of the fact I just didn't want to see Taylor Swift go. That's the little Kim, actually. That's little Kim. But I just didn't want to see Tay-Tay win.
Yeah.
But the Niners was holding it down. I really thought they had it. I remember at the last 40 seconds of the fourth quarter, I looked over to my dad and I was like, I think they got it.
Too much time left on the clock for number 15 on the Chiefs. I'm telling you right now.
Too much time left on the clock, or too many paragraphs left on that script, because the Niners was working hard, but that script was working harder.
Huh?
Oh my gosh. Taylor Swift. Why was Ice Spice in the box with Taylor Swift?
Oh, because they have a song together. I don't know how they know each other.
I know how they know each other, because the guy that Taylor Swift was with before Travis Kelce made those racist comments towards Ice Spice. Taylor Swift and her management came to the rescue. Dun, 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 dun. Now they talking hee hee ha ha with Ice Spice. Then they got a song, but I thought it was over after that.
Right
now they just over here kneeling in Black Power fist at the Super Bowl.
Why are you saying that? Were they really?
Nah.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I missed a lot. I was like, man.
I mean, but her hair always looked like she got the Black Power fist up. So I don't know, like young Angela. But
oh my!
I don't know. It was just weird to see. But
her hair texture was
I don't think anything really surprised me with the Super Bowl, especially the ending. I mean, Pat Mahomes, this nigga is trying to chase that other nigga that we saw all our lives. I remember being at Xavier's house when
Bill Cosby.
No, Tom Brady. I remember being at Xavier's house when the score was 28-3. It was Atlanta versus New England, and Tom Brady had that miraculous comeback. And just thinking about that was the last part of Tom Brady's career. We saw him be this great white hope for America. Tom Terrific. So Pat Mahomes. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
It's just going in the regular same direction. He loves pumping up a white man.
I'm just saying he was. But I'm saying Pat Mahomes on Black History Month. He is building his resume to surpass Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback we have ever seen, and that is for the sports podcast. But just as the Super Bowl, I kind of expected that, going down and seeing the 49ers kind of.
Did you make a bet?
Shake.
It's tough.
I sent this in the group chat with Fox and Xavier.
Okay.
I didn't know what the hell I was looking at.
I bet I do prize picks. So you have to take over or under. I hit all my picks for the Super Bowl, but I do basketball as well. So De'Aaron Fox had a game at 12 o'clock that day. I picked the over of 24.5 points. If I won, I think I would have won $250 because you got your Super Bowl picks there, right? Patrick Mahomes gonna do this, Travis Kelce gonna do this. So I got those picks.
Okay.
24.5 points. This nigga scores 15 points, has one of his worst shooting games ever. So all my picks, I hit everything else for the Super Bowl. I hit the Patrick Mahomes one. I hit the Travis Kelce one. I had one more for San Francisco. And I hit those, but De'Aaron Fox didn't want to show up to the game on Sunday. He wanted to watch the Super Bowl. He was just out of it and only scored 15 and hit he was 2 for 7 from 3. So he had one of his worst shooting nights. So I lost money, guys. I lost money. But yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but that was a good story. And
that's why you don't do it, guys. If you don't, I mean, I did win the last time, so it kind of gives you the little testosterone boost. That's how they get you. But
you can't be telling them don't do it, but then talk about you won.
Hey, shout out to Prize Picks. I want Prize Picks to give us a little endorsement deal or something like that. So shout out to Prize Picks. I use y'all all the time. So y'all might as well bring some money over to Black Ambition Media. But how did y'all like Usher in the halftime performance?
Shoot, only reason I watched the Super Bowl was for the Usher. That was my boy. You know, he hit all that shit.
Oh my god! Everyone starts showing videos of that. I didn't even know he did that.
It was. I think it was at least top 3.
Top 3 Super Bowl performances of all time.
Performances of all time.
Okay.
Definitely, I think Usher and crew. Alicia Keys, sheesh, and Ludacris, Lil Jon had them white people going crazy. I think they definitely blew Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and Kendrick out the water.
You missed her. She was there.
Her was there too with the guitar.
Yeah.
Her was there. He said, "I can't bring JB out during Black History Month. I'll bring out her." And she came out here, New Age Prince, going crazy.
So I rewatched Usher's today. Then I went to the Snoop and Dre one. Then I went to Beyonce. Then I went to Prince. Then I went to Michael.
Beyonce never had her own one.
True, but
so everyone needs to stop saying that.
Coldplay, and then she had one with Bruno Mars,
and then she had one with Destiny Child.
But
who remembers Coldplay or Bruno? I remember Beyonce.
That's why I say that was basically
doesn't matter.
That was basically Beyonce
because it's not. No, it's not basically Beyonce. And this is me defending Queen Bee because if it was just basically Beyonce, we would see a lot more of her, and we would have saw her creativity. Like when you're sharing a stage or a performance, I would assume that you have to make time for everybody and how they come in, and they all came in a certain way. But you want to do something different, but then y'all want to do something different than what I want to do.
True.
Maybe they're just
you know what I'm saying?
Not to play.
Complimented Usher.
Right.
It was like they didn't outshine Usher. Even when he left, it was like, ooh, where's Usher? But we watching them, it was like, where's Usher?
But nobody outshined Beyonce too. Even though it wasn't her own thing, you know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
She still stole the show.
Yeah, she said it's not mine, but it's mine. But I mean, not to play white man's devil advocate, but like, maybe they're just waiting more towards like the latter part of her career. Like Usher, he performing in Vegas. He's pretty much.
So you're saying Beyonce's gonna have a farewell Super Bowl?
Yeah, like a farewell tour. Like whenever they have the Super Bowl in Texas, maybe they'll have Beyonce come out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
maybe they'll have do a Dreamgirls reenactment or something. I don't know. But I heard the next Super Bowl is supposed to be in New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
I heard
but
that
that's not in Texas.
I'm like, absolutely, they would not do that. That would be.
They will do that. Lil Wayne is what?
They are not. They didn't even want it to be the Ravens versus the Lions.
But
I think they about to have Mr. Fireman perform at the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
I hope.
I would hope so.
We shall see. But
yeah,
I would have to say this Usher performance to me. I wanted to say it was the greatest ever when I was watching it, but going back today,
it's hectic.
It's hectic, but like Prince with that fucking guitar, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, that nigga Prince is different.
Yeah. Plus, he was smiled on by God during that.
Right. Because it's gonna rain while you're singing "Purple Rain"
with the lights purple, so it
everything
was
just
purple
was
rain coming down.
Awesome.
Purple rain.
Yeah.
And just seeing the Michael Jackson one, like any performance Michael Jackson does, when he just stands there literally, and the crowd is going crazy, that nigga looks over to the other side, and the crowd just like. No man on the planet Earth since like Jesus can ever say they were more popular than Michael Jackson.
Kanye. And that's why it sucks. I think we'll never get a Kanye Super Bowl.
Niggas were fainting when it came to Michael Jackson.
You don't remember the video? Put it right here. You don't remember the video of Kanye coming in with his face mask, pressing one key, and white
everybody just going crazy.
Fainting, falling out, screaming.
Kanye?
He didn't even say anything.
Where was he at?
He was at his concert. He came out. He had a.
He was okay.
Had his not the piano, but like little mixer. Came, pressed one key. People flipped out.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's the only
I'm missing something here.
We might get a 10 years from now if Kanye.
If he gets his whole life together,
we'll get a one.
He needs to become just that old grandpa that were like, he just be saying shit.
Right, that everybody likes at the end. But I'll say this: Michael number 1, Prince number 2, Beyonce number 3, Usher number 4. Then I'll do Dre, Snoop, Kendrick, 50, Mary, Eminem. I hope I'm not forgetting nobody. I'll do that number 5. But those are my top 5 halftime Super Bowl performances.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if they have Lil Wayne next year in New Orleans. It might be Taylor Swift. It might be a Taylor Swift, and I don't think black people gonna mess with it if they end up having Tay-Tay up there next year.
I'm saying we gotta get Wayne for another lock fall off.
You don't think you would watch it at all?
I'll probably watch it when it goes to like if I'm still watching the game, I'll probably watch it. But if I want to go, like I'm saying, but if I want to go do something else or like I don't know, I wouldn't watch it. I'll wait till go to YouTube. Yeah,
there'll be a lot of people watching that though.
Who, Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
But I feel like dang.
People that don't matter to us.
I'll be watching the
It's
Puppy
not
Bowl
that it doesn't matter to
Planet.
us. Shout out to Tay-Tay and her fans, but it's the fact that like I feel like the Super Bowl they saw a lot of her. So I feel like that equates to her performing at the Super Bowl because she was probably getting paid each time to be there, and that's what we don't even realize.
Well, there was a lot of eyes. Let's just say this: there was a lot of eyes watching due to Taylor Swift, is what is being reported. A lot of money and revenue being generated, just with her presence.
Just trying to get a glimpse of her on the camera.
Right. Oh my God! And her and Ice Spice not knowing what the hell is going on in the game.
Still confused.
What do you mean Ice Spice didn't know? I feel like she knew.
She was looking. But
you're hella funny.
Yeah, it is Black History Month, guys.
So
we do want to highlight a black person every single podcast we're on.
Yes.
So who wants to go first with their black person of the day?
I'll go first since I didn't have one last week.
Okay. Facts.
So my black person of the week, or my black person today to talk about, is Bayard Rustin. So he is one of the little more lesser known figures, but he was really prominent around the time of Martin Luther King Jr. Mm-hmm. In fact, he was one of his strategists and main organizers behind the scenes during the civil rights movement, and in particular during the March on Washington when King delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech.
Okay. Facts.
So Bayard Rustin, many people that do know him, one of the first things they will say about him is that he was a gay man. So a lot of the discrimination that he faced was due to him being a gay man, but also due to his ties to communism and communist political thought. So he stuck mostly behind the scenes, but he was a great advocate and organizer for Dr. King and helped push him even further. So shout out to him.
All right.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Rustin. May you rest in peace. May your ancestors, whoever's on this earth that is part of your offspring, may they just have great days, great life,
Amen.
Prosperous.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Okay, I can go last.
All right. I just wanted to shout out. They called him. His name is Bobby Hutton. They called him Lil Bobby Hutton. He was one of the first members of the Black Panther Party, and was shot and killed by Oakland PD after shot 12 times, by the way. But after a long shootout with the Oakland PD, he had already surrendered. Black Panthers had already surrendered, but of course the cops gonna shoot him anyway. But his death really revolutionized the Black Panther Party and took them global. It really gave them another sense of revolution that they needed, and another sense of fuel and energy and kind of gas that they needed to take that movement to the next level. So I just wanted to shout him out because not only was he 16 when he started, but I believe he only lived to 18. 1968 was one of the craziest years in Black history. We had MLK who got assassinated during that time. Shout out the FBI for that. Shout out the CIA for that. For
that's a great shout out.
Yeah, I just want to say it because they want to put Twitter posts every MLK birthday talking about we celebrate this, but that man had a horrible approval rating when he died. Most hated man in America.
All of a sudden got a sneaker deal.
Right,
that's crazy.
And we're having these shootouts with Oakland PD the same year with the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party, some party that wanted to just revolutionize the Black community, that wanted to protect, that gave us a true representation of what it was to be Black, what it was to be brave, what it was to stand up against the power structure. And Bobby Hutton was all those. He envisioned all those, and he died for this cause. So shout out to Lil Bobby Hutton, one of those first Black Panther members ever that was taken away from us by Oakland PD.
Yeah, and then just to add on, another little crazy thing I do as long as I'm not lying, but like that I do know about that story is that to prove that he was unarmed, he came out with no shirt on.
Right, underwear. He was in his underwear.
Like, I don't have nothing. Look,
facts, and they still
said, I don't care.
Claim that he had a trench coat or some shit.
They said, you know what you do got? That black skin.
Right,
wow.
Right.
That's enough.
Hit him 12 times. R.I.P. to my guy.
R.I.P.
All right, KaBria.
Yeah. No, that was
Black
just,
person of the
that
day.
was really beautiful of both of you guys.
Black person
shout
day,
out,
young Michael Jackson.
What? Stop.
ABC
I mean, it's
Michael
another.
Jackson.
It's like the first black superstar, Josephine Baker.
Okay.
And I thought that was a pretty cool shout out, just because as we're looking at like where we're at today as a culture and like who we kind of look to as far as like leading the black people, like, you know, leading us as people. It does seem to be like more like entertainers and people that we see a lot more like sharing their message and like doing good for their communities and stuff like that. And I mean, like Beyonce, like Rihanna, like Jay-Z, like really trying to bring us, or, you know, capitalism, say what you want, you know, say what you want. But I'm saying it's about, I'm talking about them like having those opportunities and like, you know, sharing it with black people or making it seem like a possibility, which I think is pretty dope. But I just wanted to highlight her because not only like was she a really good dancer, she was also like the first like black like actor, I believe, the star in like a movie. And then also she was pretty dope because she was helping as far as being like a spy, I guess. And when I'm saying that, it was like a member of like French resistance forces, I guess. And so that's pretty dope. And then she came over and helped with the civil rights movement. So it just seems like she's just a woman who's able to like juggle a lot of hats. And I think that's pretty dope. Like how she was able to basically, you know, break so many like ceilings for black people in so many different ways. It's like she lived multiple lives, you know? So I think it's just really dope because it's just somebody who like entire life, they, you know, were able to do so well and contribute so much to black people. And I think that's just, you know, really dope and setting the bar really high, I think, for like black entertainers to come. So pretty cool. Just actors, all of that.
Yeah, shout out to those that did come before us in a world where, I mean, like me and Xavier have this conversation a lot. In a world that seems so hopeless, we still want to honor those people that did come and pave the way and died paving the way in certain industries that are just frowned upon for black people to be in. And that's really anything black people are that we do. We're frowned to be in that entity with in the beginning. So just shout out to them. I mean, 2024 as a people, I don't know. I don't know if we would say we're in a good place as a people. Are we cohesive? Are we together? Do we have that sense of togetherness in the community?
I feel like we're more together than we fail to realize. Okay. Yeah. In my opinion.
Maybe that's a ploy by them to distract us, thinking that we're not.
I mean, yeah, because you think about it, like black people, like when we're on TikTok, we see different content than most people. You feel me? Like we also have the same like work experience as other black people in different places, living experience, like the same like understanding of like if it's not church, like the family, and then also music, and knowing like when it comes to rap and hip hop, and this is always gonna be my opinion, is the fact that the music is so like diverse, and so it's something for everybody, and so it's cool when black people like are able to recognize like, you know, like the poetry in our music, if that makes sense. I mean, and so that's all you know,
I could see that too, though. But then again, like if we're depending on social media to be like the determining factor to have like how cohesive black people are, then we have to rely on like the like algorithm and shit like that. So we know like we're only really gonna see what we already want to see, what we interact with. So it's like going on social media, it's kind of like we already put ourselves in that echo chamber of our own thoughts. So it's like, it's like, oh yeah, I see black people all around the world agreeing with me and doing this and doing that. But it's like, am I only seeing the black people who already agree with me?
Maybe
and I'm not seeing all the other black people with all these other beliefs and stuff who are just not going to pop up on my feed because they're out here just talking about whatever they be talking about.
Right. I think my message was like, I didn't like say it correctly. I wasn't saying just like social media, but I'm also saying like real life when you're interacting with people. Like usually when a family is like women, moms are very respected in Black communities. So that's an interaction that you have. Like when you interact with like older like Black people, you know, like grandparents age, it's very respectful that you should become because we respect our elders. When you're in a workplace and some crazy ass shit happen, you look to your Black coworker and they look at you. That's another like connection that a lot of Black people have. You feel me? Or when we're talking about at work, like, oh, this person talked to me and it's like, oh, because you Black, and it's like, oh, they treat Black people like that. Like that's another connection you have with other Black people. And I just think like that brings us together more when it comes to food, like seasoning, like 8 times out of 10, you feel me, like we all have that in common, like this food hella nasty, or who made this, like we all have that, but we also all have our own unique shit, which is dope as far as like soul food, who cooks what, you feel me, what dessert y'all really mess with, like, you know. But then there's other things like Easter time, everyone dress up, you know. It's just certain things that we all do the same. And like when you interact with other Black people, it's just like social cues or like social norms of Black people that only Black people get, unless you've been around. But we can get it when you're around different cultures and you observe, but like you have to like be in it to get like Black social cues.
Right. And
I don't know, that was a long explanation to say like we're connected more than we realize.
Yeah.
Music we listen to, try, you know, it's just a lot when we have conversations.
I feel like we're
ebonics.
Yeah, I feel like we're losing that a lot. And that's gonna be an interesting thing. I can't wait till we talk about my dad with that too, because I remember having a conversation with him and he was just like, I don't know where he was, but he said he got out the car and it was just a group of like heck of young Black people, and it was just like that interaction. Like even when he was talking about one time when he was with my grandmother and they were coming down the sidewalk and my grandma's like old, and they're like, the niggas are not moving out the way for the older lady to come into the house. Like we're starting to lose certain things in the Black community that kind of made us well, I disagree, but that's another.
No,
story
I get what you're saying. I'm sorry, like I didn't mean.
We're definitely. You know? I just think we're definitely losing that because we have way more ignorant niggas that really don't care or respect.
I'll put that less on Black people. I just think these kids overall are just
right. Let's not put that on Black people. Let's just put that on the overall spectrum of
all these kids.
Because I think it's just about
facts.
Because like to all of the points, I think it's just about like how active is their parents in their life, or like are they dependent on like technology. Is like one parent not able to be there for them, you know? Are they just giving gifts and shit to calm them down? Like you have to take that into consideration, you feel me, with the younger generation. And I think it's like it's deeper than like, you feel me, like people, these kids just being bad. It's like they're not getting the attention from their parents that we got because their parents are on the phone, they're on the phone, you feel me? And that's why technology is kind of fucked up, because I think kids need that. And if everybody's always on their device, iPad or whatever, that interaction is not occurring. And so these kids, you feel me, their emotions, how they feel with people, because they exposed to so many people, so much shit on phones. It's like, you feel me? Like, it's like, I know this person, I know that person, but it's like they don't even have that connection because they didn't get it from their parents. Whew, goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm rambling, but it's making sense. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, I feel like it's deeper than these kids are just being disrespected. I think they're just not being seen. That's it.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's always
but I mean, disrespectful as fuck, but it's kind of like, why are you like that?
If you're looking for attention, it's always easier to act out because you'll get that attention, whether good or bad.
Exactly.
But then, if like the real root of that issue isn't addressed, then it kind of just eventually spirals and continues to grow and fester into something. The next thing you know, you're 18, 19 and still acting like you was in 5th, 6th grade, acting out for attention, and it's like, it's not cute no more.
That's facts. Stop arguing with your mama. Go and get them kids, girl, because some of y'all ain't raising y'all kids. But
that's literally not what
back to that halftime performance.
I didn't even give my opinion. I forgot about that.
Back to y'all halftime. You guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like it was just a lot going on. I feel like he should have had different. He should have had songs longer than what they were.
You're talking about Usher. Okay. Yeah. So you don't feel like he should have
did that many songs cut and stuff like that, and it was just too many people. Like, you should just focus on you. Like, and I didn't like that at all. But it's nice because he was shouting out Vegas and his residency. But it was kind of like, we get y'all in Vegas, and if you've been to Vegas, you know what the fuck going on in Vegas.
Yeah, because that first part just felt like a circus. Like the beginning intro, it was just
and it was like ringleader man. I got what he was trying to do, but it was just
too much.
Yeah,
he just got too many hits. He only got 13 minutes.
But his audio with the mic, and it was off in the beginning. But once he made his way to the stage, then it kind of really just started flowing from there. I kind of liked him. It felt like just like a like a little DJ mix of him just kind of doing like cool
all
bits and pieces
hits.
of the popular parts of his songs.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that way it's like you're not always going to be able to see Usher perform. It's like I got to see a little bits and pieces of all these songs.
Right.
Like, so nobody's really like, dang, I really wanted him to perform this song. It's like
I did, and guess what song he performed after y'all were saying he wasn't going to perform it? No, it was the one song y'all were like, he's not going to perform. What? And it's his best song ever.
What?
My Boo. That's my like Usher.
Oh, he has to perform that.
No, because Rewind. I know it's somewhere.
We said that?
Yes, and I was sitting here fighting for my life.
I
mean, Alicia,
confession.
I'm just saying.
She was looking good.
Yeah, she was.
That piano was looking even better, but she was looking real good.
She know how to play that dang piano. Mm-hmm. She don't know how to do anything. But
shoot, and America know how to play us trying to go auto pitch correct that note. So if you go back and watch the video on YouTube, if you watch it back on YouTube, they fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it.
But it's like, oh, you trying to Mandela effect us in real life? I watched that live. I know she said, I heard it.
Ooh.
But she corrected it. It was just the first note. She
let
been
her
gone a
warm
while.
up her.
Yeah, she been gone a while.
Right.
Because she ate after that.
She did.
Yeah,
and
she
that walk,
been.
I almost walked to the Super Bowl. It was crazy.
But looking back at Usher's performance, it kind of made me think, it reminisce. So, Xavier, what would you say is your top 5 nostalgic songs of your childhood that you kind of remember and will always, like, it could take you back to a place in your childhood?
So, since sticking with Usher, he's not on my list.
Okay.
But I always got them mixed up growing up.
Who?
So, not Usher, but Neo.
Where's
Neo at? Where's my boy Neo at?
How you get
Where has Neo been?
Wait a minute. How the hell you get Usher and Neo mixed up?
They're both light skinned singing.
They're not. Neo is a bald,
dark skinned. He always had a hat on though. He always had the fedora on, so you didn't really know. I remember I didn't see his head for the first time until he was doing a movie, and I was like, "Ooh, that's why he always got that hat on."
That thing was everybody's reaction. Though.
Yeah, it was
like,
put that fedora back on.
So Neo is your first.
Yeah, he's not too fat to wear a fedora. But Neo, Sick of Love Songs, 05.
Okay.
That's number 1.
All right.
Okay.
Jordan Sparks, No Air.
Okay.
I think that's like 09.
Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown. That's this Christmas Chris Brown though, so it's okay. It's back when we liked him. Maxwell, Pretty Wings, the uncut.
Okay.
Uncut version.
The long
one. I need the
6
whole
minutes.
I need all of it.
Yeah.
Because that's what my mom, I remember, that just brings me back to the backseat of her car going to elementary school. She used to play that every morning.
Every morning.
Mystical, Shake Your Ass.
Okay.
2000. I thought that came out in like 08, 09.
Oh, wow.
I was like, 2000? What the? Oh, wow. Why was I listening to Shake Your Ass?
Yeah, Mystical is definitely.
And lastly, my number 5, if you would have caught me at Elliott Ranch Elementary School or Toby Johnson when I'm 11 years old, you call my phone, this is what you're gonna hear. La da 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 DOA by Jay-Z. That's my number 1 nostalgia song. That was my ringtone. You already know what type of time am I on. 11-year-old DOA Jay-Z, they ringtone.
That man love that Death of Autotune song.
Pre-capitalism. Shout out Jay-Z. Pre-cap.
All right, KaBria, you want to go? Top 5 nostalgic songs of your childhood.
I can go. Number 1. I mean, this is hard. I'm just going to choose 5 songs that I remember, okay? Because I can't rank them. I can't choose favorites because I all like them. I like them all. So, Fortunate by Maxwell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Maxwell.
That's definitely one. My mom loves Maxwell, and we always used to listen to him.
That's our first matching artist.
All the time. Huh?
That's our first matching artist so far. We both
I know. I almost said Pretty Wings because that's my favorite song. But that's meant for real. But I don't know. People would be saying it's like sad. I'd be like, but it's a good song.
Yeah.
Happy tears.
Some people were saying it was sad. I was like, I like it. But I'm not gonna steal Pretty Wings. I'm not gonna do that. I said Fergalicious because that song was just, I just remember it came out and it was just hella dope and I really liked it. And I was at the time when Black Eyed Peas and Fergie, and when she started doing her thing, it was cool. But her performance was really upsetting too. Like, no joke though. Like, I was really shocked. You know, it just given that Mariah Carey really could fucking sing. And some people really could just fucking sing. And some people were just faking it a little bit.
Yeah, like J-Lo.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I heard about that.
Get off J-Lo.
Yeah.
Get off J-Lo back, bro.
So what? That's 2 or 3?
That's 3?
3? Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that was 3.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna say 3 because this is getting hard. And then also "Must Be Nice" by Life. I really liked that song growing up. I don't know. That's still one of my favorite songs. Oh, and then 21 Questions.
Okay.
What, 50
Yeah,
50
Cent. That was when we were young, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's 05.
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of my favorite songs for real. Like that's to this day, that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that still be on barbecue playlist to this day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Barbecue playlist. I be listening to that randomly. I be like, man, because I thought it was. Like,
anytime that song come on, it's still a vibe.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's probably some other songs, but I really can't think right now.
Right.
Oh yeah, because we didn't even talk about. I didn't even put Soulja Boy, the New Boys. I didn't put no Beyonce on here. Nothing.
Yeah.
No Carrie Hilson. No, I didn't even got no Eminem. I didn't even put Kanye on here. Pre-Nazi yet. I didn't put none of that.
But this is my top 5 right here. Okay, so "Yeah" by Usher, because this is what springboarded this whole conversation for me. Yeah by Usher. I don't know why, but that is the most nostalgic record I can ever hear. It's like I remember exactly like just life at that time.
I feel like that was a radio song too.
It came on all the time. Like they played out. I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
That's a good song.
Okay.
I just feel like I heard that song everywhere. That was just one of them songs where you just heard everywhere. Okay. Tell Me When to Go.
Okay. I give you that one.
Just being in the Bay. I remember when that song came out. I just remember my older sister going crazy to that song. Shake them dreads. Like she had them little twisties in her head, so she was going crazy. So it was just a fun time watching her go crazy and shit like that. I remember that to this day. Like memory of her just going crazy in the hallway at the house.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that for the last one. Y'all remember G6? Like a G6.
Oh yeah,
like a G6.
That you breaking it to them.
Like
that was a boss.
G6.
I know for sure.
That song had me in a chokehold at
Who's the name of that
years
group?
old. I have no idea. Like a scissor. I don't fucking know.
That was good. I just remember they were Asian.
Bruh, they
were they?
Were they?
I think so. From California.
Far East Movement. Shout out to the Far East Movement and G6.
Yeah,
that was a bop. That's the most nostalgic song. I also got Soulja Boy, Crank That.
Okay.
Gotta shout out Soulja.
I remember that was the first. I think that was the first year that my dad coached a high school basketball team.
Okay.
And I'm a little kid with them, and like they were like shooting around at halftime, and that Crank That came on. Everybody was doing the Soulja Boy. I just remember that fucking memory vividly. And my last, and I hope y'all don't kill me for this.
Okay.
But the most nostalgic song of my childhood, "Trapped in the Closet" by R. Kelly. If y'all don't remember them videos that would come on and we would watch that.
This is a song. This isn't a motherfucking play.
I'm just saying.
Why did you want to sneak that in? There's no one. That's not just one song.
Yeah, that's a whole. That's like
a play. It's literally a Tyler Perry play.
That's
with singing. It was a Tyler Perry musical.
Very nostalgic.
That
I
was
just
crazy.
remember that.
That's
not a song.
R. Kelly nostalgia song.
Yeah.
I'm going to remix for Ignition. Oh, that's my. I used because they had the music video for that too.
Right.
I used to just have my laptop and I would just have that on replay. That was my song. Remix to Ignition. I can't even listen to that song. I'm about to look it up.
That music video was popping too.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember, but this is crazy.
But yeah, shout out to them songs that really just
once
put
again,
you back
that's
in the
not
memory.
a song, and you just decided to say that.
But I just remember coming home watching the music videos with like my sister and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I remember that.
Am I tripping? Was it? No, it was multiple songs.
What? Yeah, no, it was like 30. It was like 30 chapters of Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah, I know.
It was like 30 segments of it.
They take the video off of YouTube?
They might have.
That's crazy.
They might have. Would you have blamed them if they did that?
Is it not right there?
That's just the regular one though.
Oh.
I like the remix.
There was a
remix.
And weren't they like at a cookout or something?
It was something random.
Oh yeah.
Music videos used to be some weird.
Right.
That one. This
hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Ignition. I could have sworn it was still Ignition. Maybe I'm tripping.
Maybe if I look up video. Nah, they really scrubbed it. That's tough.
Who was in the video? You got me confused now.
That was a legend.
It was just him.
Just play that one. Are you sure it's not that one?
We're not gonna play the video.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Oh my
Not
god.
my views.
That be saying no. We aren't listening to R. Kelly. Then here I am.
Right.
Put that song on.
Talk about play that video. Let's see right here.
Yeah, play that one. I remember that one.
I mean, my apologies.
By the way, speaking of videos, let's get this out the way. We do have it on the board. What did you guys think of the Drake and Sexy Red Rich Baby Daddy video featuring SZA?
You want to talk about Usher's halftime being hectic? That video was all over the place. But I heard she actually went into labor when they were recording the video.
Yeah.
So
it was like real.
It was real.
Ish.
Realish. But cinematic.
Okay.
Very cinematic.
I enjoyed it for the song that it was. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a bad video.
I really don't feel like the video didn't match the song, but it kind of did at the same time. It was just ratchet enough. Like just ratchet enough.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how it was the old school.
How she planted herself right in the middle of SZA and Drake.
Man, that's a good question.
SZA and Drake, plant of the year. That's the word she got. Plant of the year.
Hey, chill.
How she outspiced Spice for
but you like Sexy.
Do.
You were listening to her
That's how I know she's
the whole trip.
She's plant of the year. I like her. I like the plant.
We went to LA, ladies and gentlemen. This man Xavier was listening to that Sexy Red album. He really liked that Sexy Red album.
I do.
Not a bad album.
How do you like the video, KaBria?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was cool. I liked it better than his other videos he's been releasing. I'll say that.
What, you didn't like his Too Sexy video when he was doing all like the rom-com poses and shit?
And he had Kawhi in there, Future.
Yeah, you like that shit? Okay. Or the one he just did with J. Cole and he was shooting his basketball all around the world.
First person shooting.
Playing ping pong.
Okay.
I don't like Drake.
I like that video.
His videos aren't bad because people are so lackadaisical. Or what did Zion say? People are so lackadaisical. But nowadays with
Why did you say it like that?
Zion said that, nigga?
That's how Zion said it. He said,
why you say it like that? Is he okay?
They said nobody in the NBA can read, but
oh my gosh,
people's music videos are just so low energy nowadays. Okay. It's just nice to see somebody at least put in a little bit of effort,
right?
Because that's
he has the money and the time. Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, what is up with people's like obsession with Michael Jackson's glove? Y'all notice that? Usher had it in his halftime. Like Drake had it in his video. Now that we're talking about it, it just came full circle.
Iconic tribute. Niggas think
Offset's obsessed with him.
Yeah, same reason why not to compare him to Jesus, but same reason people be putting the crown of thorns or wearing different Jesus facts in their album covers. They're not. They're just trying to allude to the fact that there's something greater. They recognize Michael Jackson
is the
black or white as the GOAT. So there's like, let me play homage. Let me put on the glove, even though Offset take off the damn glove. But no, nigga. No.
That was crazy to say, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought that it was a real well shot video. Whose house did they use for that? That was what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah, he was like, Big Mike. I was cracking up. I'm like, whose dad is talking to Drake right now?
Then he pantsed himself with the Jerry curl.
With the Jerry curl dripping. I'm like, oh my. But it's
Maybe.
weird. I don't know what to think about Drake right now.
I think he's trying to just be an actor now. He's like, okay, I made so much money, I could spend this much time directing and shooting.
But he said he was going away, and the fact that he's still on tour and he's talking about he's going to drop some more new music. I'm like, dude, can you just relax for like 6 months to a year?
You believe
and
him?
Really like dig into your artistry.
I believe Drake when he said he's going away just as much as I believed Snoop Dogg when he said he would stop smoking weed. Boy, shut the hell up. I know you're high. Like, calm down, go somewhere. That didn't even make no sense when it came out your mouth. You know Drake ain't going nowhere. If it's one thing Drake gonna do, it's gonna be to try to profit off of the hype.
That is facts.
So as long as Sexy Red's still top plant,
facts.
He gonna be Rich Baby Daddy game.
And as long as SZA is still SZA, a pop star,
I'm still gonna be watching.
Facts.
Yeah, it was cool.
Right. Transitioning over to, you guys have anything else on the video?
No.
Okay.
No. I was just thinking like on the board, maybe not the next one, and I'll say why.
Okay. My question is,
you know what I'm saying?
What happened to remixes? Why don't people remix songs no more?
That is true.
There are some remixes. What are you talking about?
But
Cardi
like,
B,
I feel
that's
like
all her
remixes
newer
used to-
songs. All her Cardi B coming back to the game was her just hopping on someone else's song for like 30 seconds.
But that's all Cardi B has at the same time besides WAP. She just got remixes.
They don't do remixes like they used to anymore, especially for the most popular songs. Like I can think of the new song "Water" by Tyla.
Oh that was remixed.
They remixed that,
yeah, Flo Milli, they remixed her.
Right, but it's not a lot out there like they used to be. I feel like there was a lot of remixes.
There was a lot. It was like they were trying to show everyone's talent at at one time, which is really cool. Yeah. But
like the last big remix phase I remember was Old Town Road. Lil Nas X had like 4 different remixes of that song.
But I'm confused because I think what's happening nowadays that I just be like, I don't know how I feel about it, is the fact that some of them keep releasing version of their songs with more and more artists. Like just do one remix for your song. Like why is it remix 1, 2, 3, and 4?
I'll tell you another artist that does that is DDG. Because his catalog is terrible, so he has to rely on that one song. So he's like, "Let me do a sped up version. Let me do a slowed down version."
Hey, he's a businessman.
Yeah, that's business savvy for sure.
I'm just saying,
but really, go to DDG's Spotify or Apple Music. His top 10 songs, like 4 of them are the same song.
But maybe he doesn't need to really make it as a rapper. He can just be, isn't he a YouTuber?
He can be Holly's baby daddy
for the rest of his life.
But I'm saying maybe he's making more money on YouTube and he's just using the music.
As long as he does the opposite of Nicki Minaj's baby daddy, he could just shut up. Stop being on FaceTime outside or Instagram Live outside, and he'll be fine. But speaking of Lil Nas X and speaking of country, did we have a chance to listen to after the Super Bowl? We noticed that Nicki wrong.
Wow.
The real queen. My fault.
Is she
my
up
fault.
there with her? Is that what you're implying?
No.
Yeah, that's what he goes.
Wrong. And I was thinking
of Beyonce.
I was thinking of Knowles.
You asked me.
Knowles, not Nicki Knowles. Beyonce, Queen B. She dropped a country track, and I was like, "Hold on, I think I need to get my boots and my buckle."
Okay.
Out of my closet because I was finna,
you know,
Old Town. I was like, okay, I liked it. It was like a different type of approach to country, in my opinion, for me because it had less of what I would think of when I'm thinking of like country rasp or country like sounds, but at the same time it's like, okay, who says it has to be as linear as that? Right. She's tapping into her roots. She's from Texas. She wanna put on her hat and go crazy. She's gonna do nothing but open up doors for all these other black country artists for them to be more recognized. So shout out Beyonce. It's like she could have either did, what other genre could she have broken into that is created by black people but dominated by white people?
Rock.
She could have she could have did rock or punk that was created all rock, but punk was steam headed by black people. Right. I can see Beyonce, but then it's like, okay, let Willow rock with that. Willow with that punk R&B, let her rock with that. So I don't really know of her because Nas was just a fake. He was a fake country singer. So Beyonce coming in there trying to regain traction of something that we actually created. Facts. Always gonna be down for that. Shut up.
Oh, Beyonce?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm going to read this article real quick by The Hill so I can give you guys a little update because one of the country music stations wasn't really rocking with Beyonce. A country music radio station in Oklahoma that refused to play Beyonce's Texas Hold'em has changed course and is now playing the song after receiving criticism. Beyonce announced 2 new songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, in an ad during Sunday's Super Bowl. Y'all like that commercial that she did?
I didn't see the commercial, actually.
It was okay, but my whole thing is, now that I think about it, just because a famous person released a famous rapper released like a country song, would you listen to it automatically?
Nelly.
Oh, Florida Georgia Line? That was actually really good. Yeah. That's one of my favorite.
Because name an industry black people are in that they don't dominate or have the potential to dominate.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was just going to say maybe it was just kind of like, they really hating on Beyonce, especially when they keep blocking her from getting a Grammy and giving it to Taylor Swift.
Right. Yeah. So
embarrassing.
Look, the song has of course, like Xavier was just saying, significant country influence, making a departure from her typical music style.
But she's always had kind of country music, and that's the confusing part about it.
In a Tuesday post on X,
in her voice.
Formerly known as Twitter, a user shared an email from the Oklahoma radio station KYKC that said, "We do not play Beyonce on KYLC, as we are a country music station." Following the refusal, fans called on country radio stations across the U.S. to play the new song. Of course, them niggas really didn't know about Beehive and the power of them.
Oh, dog show ass, real quick.
Right. Roger Harris, the general manager for KYKC, told CBS News on Wednesday the station had added Texas Hold'em to its playlist. Harris said the radio station didn't initially know Beyonce's released country songs and said the response was a quote-unquote standard reply. So, I know, Xavier, you've always talked about this kind of just in the pop element of black artists really not getting their shine in genres that they... What's the word? Genres
that they created?
Genres that black people created, but genres that black people are prevalent in, but... You know, country is one that is dominated by the whites, or supposedly dominated by the whites,
but created by the black man.
Right. So, what do y'all think about
and woman?
This is just another example of them trying to keep what's theirs.
I mean, yeah, we understand. I kind of like my thought behind it is like the same reason why we talked about how you hear "Yeah" by Usher, you're like, that's a pop song.
Facts.
But if you look at the listed genre, it is R&B.
Facts.
So same thing with Beyonce. She has the power and influence to say, "Oh no, change this to country," because they could have very well kept that listed as a R&B song,
right?
R&B song,
right?
Because I don't listen to country music like that. I'm not gonna say I have a very well grounded opinion in country music, but based off of the little bit that I've listened to and heard, that wasn't the most country song that I've ever heard.
Facts.
Way more country than Old Town Road, in my opinion. But
facts.
I can see how white people are like, or those white people like KWC, whatever your racist ass radio station is called. Yeah, Oklahoma ass nigga. KD left. But I feel like the reason they're like, oh no, there's no way you can listen to that song and say, "Oh, we don't play Beyonce at this country radio station," and you listen to that song.
Right.
Oh, you're just racist. You just mean to say we don't play black people at this radio station, because you can't listen to that song and say it's anything other than country music.
Record, yeah.
And it's just trying to keep black people out of predominantly white spaces, because they understand that black people coming in to another industry, making it blacker, adding they swag, adding they style, adding they voice, making more of the black artists that are already in those industries, making them more prevalent.
Right.
All that's going to do is inevitably just take away from those white artists, putting those Taylor Swifts and those Tim McGraws, putting them on the back burner to these black artists. And not to say that, oh, you let black people in the country, then white artists are going to cease to exist. But I just say you let black people into any industry and we're going to do what we do.
Serena Williams, Tiger Woods. You know what I'm saying? Just people that were in these white industries. There was these white tennis stars, and Serena and Venus came in, especially Venus first, and took over that industry. Same with Tiger. So, KaBria, what did you think about the country music station
the whole
not
situation?
playing?
I think it could be just a situation where they were just really ignorant and didn't want to do it, but also could be a situation where they really didn't know Beyonce released that music for real. So I don't know, I feel like giving them the benefit of the doubt as far as let us listen to it, let us wait and see what other country music stations are doing, because it's I don't know, because it is Beyonce, and also this is the first time they see Beyonce. I was just thinking about it, Taylor Swift compared to Beyonce. Taylor Swift has a certain American sounding name compared to Beyonce. So I don't know, I'm getting all deep and shit, but I just feel like it also could be that who the hell is just Beyonce or whatever,
well, they definitely know who Beyonce is.
I don't think they definitely know Beyonce.
This isn't Gabby Douglas' husband. We don't know who that is.
Yeah, but if you don't,
you think every white person, and then what was
Beyonce is Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
even if you don't listen to her music, you know who
that is.
But
if you don't know who Beyonce is, but if you don't know who
Beyonce, know every important white person.
But if you don't know who Beyonce is, people are calling into your station. You have to understand, people are calling into your station asking,
at that
hey,
magnitude,
can you play 16 Carriages by Beyonce? It's a really good. So you should be able to do your due diligence as a radio station. That's like Xavier was saying. You have to be racist and understand. Like I know exactly who Beyonce is.
The benefit of the doubt.
No, because I know exactly who
Beyonce
Beyonce
is. White
is.
people the benefit of the doubt.
I'm sorry.
It took longer to write and submit that post than it would for them to listen to that song.
Right.
So for them to be like, oh,
we don't listen. It's a
new Beyonce song. Beyonce doesn't do country music. You didn't even listen to the song then.
Right. People are calling in to ask to hear the song.
They probably just didn't listen to the song.
Then that's
ignorant. Their fault.
Yeah, that's
and I'm saying, that's why I said they're probably being ignorant. That's all I was saying. But I get your point. I do get your point. I really do. But I am curious, when different radios play like different artists' music, do they get paid for that? Or no? When you get plays on the radio?
I mean, I don't know radio splits now in 2024. I don't
know. Okay, I was just curious because it's like, is it just like free advertising?
I mean, shoot, if the numbers are anything like streaming, what's she getting, 2 pennies?
Right.
I mean, either way, you're still getting paid. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's all I'm saying.
It's just another. I just feel like this is just another example of what we've always talked about when it came to artistry and kind of any entity we've been talking about, like
white people gatekeeping stuff that's not theirs.
There you go. And it all comes down to the same thing: white people gatekeeping. So,
but
shout out to Beyonce.
When it's not even theirs. Gatekeep your own
stuff. Right. But you gonna come steal our stuff
and say, no, y'all can't have it.
Facts. That's crazy.
Goodness.
It's so good. I want it because that's how.
Is it crazy
that's how
or
music started?
Is it crazy?
Blackface.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, is it crazy or is it crazy that we as a people didn't know like our history in that category? You feel me? I think that's crazy.
Same reason that a lot of black people don't know that cowboys were black.
I know.
It's just we don't have a lot of access to that history, and when we do see or hear about cowboys or about the Old West, you see white people. You see the adaptations of white people. Same reason when like you look at videos or not videos but movies of Egyptians. Why are they white?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like they couldn't even be Middle Eastern or Arabic. They're just straight up Caucasian men.
Pale.
Straight up Tom Cruise.
Ain't never been in the sun.
Like that didn't even make sense. It's just like they take and just form it to whatever you want. Like Scarlett Johansson played like 6 Asian women. That's a whole white woman.
Oh wow.
They just do they just be doing stuff.
Doing what they want. But anyway, okay.
All right.
The whole world is Trump. They just be doing what they want to do.
They just be doing what they want to do.
What's a lawsuit? I'm just going to do what I want to do anyway.
Right.
That is facts. All right, guys. 2 juveniles were charged with crimes connected to the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl rally. Authorities said Fridays as the city tries to recover in the aftermath of the violence. A new release from the Jackson County Family Court said the juveniles are being detained in the county's juvenile detention center on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. Additional charges are expected as the investigation continues.
Did anyone die?
1 person died. I believe 8 were like really, really fatally, like badly injured.
You know what's crazy? Like 1 person died, 8 people fatally injured, teenagers with weapons. You would think, wow, that's gonna spark some real change.
Facts.
Shoot, maybe if the gun was gay. If the gun was gay. If the gun was gay. If the gun ain't gay, ain't no laws changing. They had 1 book that they didn't like that actually wasn't even being taught in schools, and they banned so many books related to LGBTQ and black people. Like, why are we being brought up? But started banning and creating laws because it is harmful to children. Mm-hmm. But guns are not harmful to children.
Yeah.
Being shot at is not harmful to children.
And why is this becoming the norm in America? That's just so sad when you
think about it, though. When you like really think about it as like a
education.
Fear, like I would never have thought as a kid like how fearful like you would have to be, and even if kids don't talk about it, to actually have to go back to school. Mm-hmm. And now they're going back to school with people who are probably experiencing some like issues mentally because of the fucking pandemic and everything that happened during that time, and then trying to get help, and like our systems is just like overflowed or like overflowing with patients or people looking to see somebody, and it's actually really scary when you think about it. And then like to your point, like as far as guns and how available they are, but also when it comes to like the politics and how divided we are, like it's kind of scary, and how many places like gun violence can really happen. But I feel like from the story, it's just crazy because it was the Chiefs, but I feel like that should have been like local news because it wasn't. I mean, I don't know if it would be considered a mass shooting because I thought mass shootings is like multiple people. In my opinion, it is very crazy, but my understanding is that mass shootings is like multiple people. But if they had a plan to do more, like that's crazy. But all of that being said, it's just crazy that we live in like a world where this shit's going on. And this shit's not going on with people who like are struggling and like needs help and shit and trying to survive. This shit's going on with people who like really are like going through some things, some dark things, and like seeing this and being influenced to do stuff like this. And it's just like that's a lot of families and shit that are getting hurt because people are hurting inside, like on some real stuff.
Right, like not that long ago, sad. Like when we were going to school, our biggest fear would be like, man, I'm not trying to do no public speaking. I got a presentation I got to do. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't want to go to school because I'm not trying to get shot in my science class. Right. Yeah. I'm not trying to go to school because I don't want to be another hashtag.
That's facts.
It's like a hashtag, not even for a reason at this point. It's just like, it's just another article amongst the many. And it's been going on for decades. Right. And we just keep acting like it's nothing, like acting like it's not a problem.
That's something we can fix, and that's the crazy part. That's something we can easily fix, and we're just like,
we could easily fix it if we weren't infringing on Americans' rights.
Wow. So you know, let me make this clear. It said 22 others were injured, more of half of them children, and the person that died was a mother and a popular disc jockey. She did leave children behind. So Xavier, I have a question for you.
That's
what
so sad.
Are you? What's your message to the right to bear arms people versus gun control law people? Like, I think those are two things that the ignorant whites kind of get tangled up with, and that's one of Trump's biggest talking points. Oh, they're trying to take your guns. No, we just want gun control. We're not taking the right to bear arms away from you, sir. We just want to have control so we don't have no big ass AK-47s. I'm watching the video on Twitter. There's literally civilians that are picking up this big ass fucking military gun that these minors had. So
there
like
are minors? How old?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
so what do y'all think about the gun control versus the right to bear arm people?
I mean, gun control, if we want to call it that, there's so many loose ends and easy ways to get through the background check, or even just having someone buy the gun and then put it in your name. Facts. There's so many different ways to go about that, and if like KaBria said, if we really wanted to solve the problem of gun violence, we could. It could be solved, but we use the fake fear that the government is taking away our rights. But it seems to be the only time we want to talk about the government taking away our rights is when it's about guns. But when the government is actually taking away rights, like the right to have an abortion, we just be like, oh,
right.
Well, the government has that right. Now we want to start talking about the government's rights to follow the Constitution. But if we want to follow the Constitution, if you really read it, I don't think we actually have the right to bear arms. You have the right to bear arms in your state militia. Not every single individual has the right to bear arms, but things over time just get misconstrued. Laws get passed in favor for that, so precedents just becomes formed. So people just think, oh, I have the right to bear arms, I can have a gun. Well, now I have a gun turns into I can have a damn bazooka. Nigga, what the fuck you need a bazooka for?
Right.
Like, just calm
down.
And the NRA controls a lot of the stuff that's going around in your politics. I just want y'all to know that.
Well, there's no reason we should live in a country where there are more guns than people.
Well, let me just say this, though. You feel me? I just think, like, because, you know, the country started off as states, and the states had their individual like militia and stuff like that. So to your point, yeah, but people started having their own guns because you have to think about it. Like before there were states, people were just going buying property and like having to defend themselves from people trying to take their property and stuff like that. But extra stuff included, whatever. But with that being said, I just feel like where we're at as like a country is just the fact of the matter is like guns and like safety are now being connected, and so it's not like, oh, we just want to give it up, because it's like people don't think their government can keep them safe. That's a thing. Like, Republicans are saying they're going to take away your guns and like you need your guns, but they're also really big on like public safety, and they're always highlighting like things going on and like painting like immigrants in a bad way, painting criminals in a bad way. Like, they're causing people to be anxious and fearful and want to have a gun. So it's like becoming part of their identity, and they want to defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like interesting, like the different situations going on, because then you have the Democrats doing that when it's just like, at the end of the day, like if we're being truthful, like the reason like all these guns and mass shootings and stuff is occurring is because we are so disconnected from each other. Like, there's not like a lot of communities like looking out for each other. Like, capitalism really does like eat down like your like experience, I think, of being here, because you're thinking always of yourself first, and you should be thinking of like those around you. You feel me? But with that being said, like, you're fearful of everybody around you because you're in competition, you know, and you think like you have to protect your, you know. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is like, it's just hella crazy and hella sad.
I agree with you, and to add on to that a little bit too, like, it really does boil down to it all just being a facade. Their rights aren't being attacked because we want to make it just a fraction harder for you to purchase the gun, for there to be mental health checks for you to purchase the gun. For if you're a convicted domestic violence abuser, you can't have a gun.
Well, yeah,
because we know one of the highest usages of guns is by domestic violence users.
Very
and
true.
Suicide.
Very
so
true.
We want to talk about protecting our men.
Right.
The leading cause of men's death is suicide by guns. Wow. So even on top of that, if we look about,
our men. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll take an argument, but protecting our men, like, what the fuck you mean? How about y'all don't get a fucking gun? Protect yourself.
Left and right, but. You want to talk about all these red states and these Republicans want to talk about we need our guns because these immigrants are coming over here in large numbers and committing all these crimes. Right. If we are so disconnected from the truth, if you look at the numbers, natural born citizens commit more crime on average than immigrants. So the people really committing crime at astronomical numbers in this country are people who are already born here in the first place. If you want to talk about people who are violent, Republicans want to talk about all these blue states committing all these crimes, gun violence. I believe if you look at those numbers as well, the states that have the most gun violence are red states. Yeah. So the very people telling you that you need your guns because immigrants are causing all this violence, because blue states and the Democrats want criminals to just run amok, they're literally just lying to you, and they're feeding you that lie that does nothing but just make you like want to hold on to something that you really don't need at the end of the day.
But you know what is crazy though, and I am gonna say this. Let me look my numbers up. I mean, yeah, look them up. But you was sounding right. I ain't gonna lie. But like, what's even crazier is like the fact that when people lose like their child in these situations, and they're trying to ask for like help and like more laws. And just like as a country, we can't even see that. It's kind of like you get to wait for it to happen to you, which is kind of crazy. And then on top of that, like, it's crazy, but I feel like it forces you kind of to still participate and live with that anxiety. I feel like as a parent, or like a fear, because it's like you have to work so that you can provide for them, you know. And so you have to let them go to daycare or do this with them, or you can't check or be there, like, you know, if you wanted to homeschool, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And so then I feel like what I'm trying to say is, like, when it comes to like celebrities and people who can actually make a change and make a difference, they kind of silent on this issue. And I feel like if Beyonce, I don't even know if she even tried it, but like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, like some people like came together and was like, we need gun control. We're not going to perform in states if y'all don't have like gun laws, you feel me? Gun control laws. And then just take that hit, take a hit until they start pushing that shit. Like, I feel like it would be different. Yeah. And it's kind of would be We Are the World situation.
Right.
I think that would really bring we were thinking about that. I think that would bring everybody together.
Right. I like how you said that. But like I said before, we also have to start looking companies, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, they have deals with Pepsi, they have deals with Verizon, they have deals with these.
Right, but if they all stand together,
hold on, let me just finish.
Okay,
they have all these big companies. All these big companies can be potentially profiting off of the NRA are people that are in bed with the NRA.
Right.
The NRA holds a lot of power in America that I don't think we understand. That
I get that.
So if they can come together, yes, but the money won't be right for them.
I mean, and this is why we're talking.
This is why we're talking about black capitalism and things of that nature.
But let me finish though.
Can I finish my point?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm misspeaking or something.
No, crazy. No. But I'm just saying, we have to make sure that, like, when we say the celebrities and they want to take a stand, are they going to take the stand for the money? Beyonce's going on tour again after she already made, and she has, rightfully so. You can do it after you do this country album, but what message are you going to make? LeBron James, if you make the finals, what message are you going to make on the biggest stage and the biggest entity? We just had the Super Bowl, black quarterback. What like, are y'all going to stop the money to make y'all points? And I just don't think that we're at the point where we're going to rely on celebrities to do that.
Okay, I can see that for sure.
I would just like to say I completely agree with both of you. But just to add a little feedback as well, we're now in 2024. But if we look at Pew Research, 3 years out now, but 2021, the leading cause of death for guns was suicide. So that was 54% of the deaths caused by guns in 2021 were suicides.
That makes sense.
And if we're looking at the same Pew Research article, U.S. gun deaths rates varied widely by states in 2021. So the states that have the highest amount of gun violence were New Mexico, Louisiana, Alabama, Missouri, Wyoming, which are going to be, besides New Mexico, I believe, are all going to be red states. So that also does lean a little bit more towards the people who are telling you that the Dems are the ones freeing the criminals and just going out there shooting guns. Blue states have less amount of gun violence overall.
Yeah. Republicans and their messaging, that they know how to do it. They know message to their base.
Their messaging exactly A1.
How they need to get them to go out and vote for them, so they can continue to.
And that's really, I don't even know what we're talking about no more, but that's what really makes me think that that the Democrats and the Republicans just really, truly, honestly work together, because the messaging behind the Republicans is just so good, strong. They just know exactly what their base is looking for and what they need to keep that momentum going. And it seems like the Democrats just never have the right thing to say, or they just don't listen to the needs of their community.
So
what
it's like
we're
a cat and mouse game. Tom and Jerry. We're watching Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it really always almost seems like the Democrats' job is to make Democratic voters prepared for more Republican ideologies, because it seems like the Democrats just become closer and closer over time to the thoughts and beliefs of the Republicans. So it's just like the world.
It's about to be a one-party rule.
Yeah, the
how
world.
It's always been.
They're trying to shift the U.S. overall slowly to being more Republican. That way, even if you are voting for a Democrat, those Democratic views aren't as Democratic as they used to be. You have to go even that further left to be as centered as you once were. And because it really just feels like the Democrats really just be like letting the Republicans win. There's no reason 97,000-year-old Joe Biden should be the top Democratic nominee for running for president when nobody in this country likes him. Nobody in this country thinks he's spry or old enough or young enough to run, mentally prepared enough to run. Why did they not start backing Kamala Harris? I don't even know what she be doing, where she's at. Why is Gavin Newsom refusing to run? Yeah. And it's just like we got Nikki Haley and Trump. We got Trump winning in states where he is legally not even allowed to be on the ballot.
That's crazy.
Don't even make sense. Doesn't make sense.
And that you just said it. Are the Democrats just playing the game? Because we know y'all have those fundraiser parties, or y'all have this, or somebody's birthday, y'all at a golf event together, and you're shaking hands with that Republican that you were just fighting with in office. And I'm not saying it has to be all enemies versus enemies. Yeah, you can have that rapport with each other, but like when we have kids dying, when we have a mother that just went with like her children will never see him over a senseless act, And when we can have regulations that can maybe succeed some of the stuff that we see in America, then I mean, why are we not doing it?
Right. Yeah.
It begs the question of what is going on behind the scenes.
It's like we were thinking just about the wrong things. Like growing up, we're like, man, in the future, we're going to have flying cars. Right. We're going to have skyscrapers going to be floating. It's going to be like WALL-E. We're all going to be fattened in wheelchairs in space. And it's like, nah, in the future, I think we might be back in shackles or some shit. It's like what the fuck is going on?
Right. That's
like,
facts.
Wow.
They just like, yeah, we're hopefully you're ready one day.
That's a lot to think about.
One day y'all know what's coming.
That is facts.
Cause we tired of paying y'all. We want that free work. Oof. We need that free work once again. Y'all being paid too much. $7.50 an hour? That's a little too much.
Yeah.
And like KaBria said,
you can almost get a pack of bread with that. Like, it's too much.
We wait until the last minute until things are on our doorstep, and this is kind of what we've been talking about. Like black people always have to deal with this. We wait until something is boom. Bam, something happened. Police brutality. Like the shit we see that's going on with Israel and Palestine right now. Like, it's not hard to just say, hey, fam, I think that shit wrong. I don't fuck with America sending this amount of resources, this amount of money over to Israel. I don't fuck with that. It's not hard to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to, when you see black people being oppressed in your eyes, in your country, to say something about that. It's not hard to use your voice in that way. So why are we waiting until the very last minute to say something and to approach these ideas in America? Like, America has the potential to be a great country. Mm-hmm. If you look at it from the glass half empty the glass half full versus the glass half empty. Mm-hmm. But are we gonna ever just do the shit we talk about, or are we just gonna
keep talking?
Like,
our glass, I don't even say it's half empty. We just got a glass full of spit, but we still have so much potential in that glass. It's just so like nasty. We need to put some Mio in there, change the flavor or something. Right. It's always gonna taste like spit at the end of the day, because you just got to think about where we came from, because you don't. That's the problem. I think I said that last time. We always like to talk about, we need to know our history, because if we don't, then history will continue to repeat itself. Right. But it's like the fact that the history that we know is not even the right history. Then we're confused on why the same shit just keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, as long as we are in this capitalistic system, the same shit is going to keep same thing is going to keep happening over and over and over again. Capitalism is built to fail. It's going to fail. We're going to have recessions. People are going to innately be poor and broke under capitalism,
and people are innately going to be selfish and money hungry and driven and things of that nature.
And because this is America, the people who are the poorest are innately going to be black, because we're just racist. Right. So that just is what it is. And if you're okay with that, you can find your niche within the system to where you can survive. Is what it is. Yeah. Not to be that pessimist ass nigga, but I really don't think nothing's gonna change anytime soon.
Well, I'm gonna be positive. I always think there's gonna be room for change.
Well, all the faith is always in the next generation. Always. And we talked about the Niners versus Taylor Swift. The Niners was working harder, but that script was working harder. Our activists, our teachers, they work hard, but the government, they working even harder to underfund these schools. Right. They working even harder to not pay these teachers. They working even harder to fill these classrooms with 60 students and have one teacher who get paid $12 an hour and get no lunch, and think she's gonna really, she or he is really gonna be able to put all the time and energy that they need to put into these kids, who's really gonna be able to understand, like, hey, maybe this kid isn't ready to go to the next grade. Yeah. And then the next grade. And then the next grade. Now we got 20-year-olds with a 5th, 4th grade reading level because they're just getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Either that, or we get on my Dr. Umar, they're either getting pushed and pushed up to the next level so another teacher can deal with them, or they're just getting pushed to the doctor's office, put them on some medication. Right. Yeah. They don't know what to do with these kids. And it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, I know what to do with these kids, because like with the current system that we have, the system isn't built for your kids to get no good education unless they go to a private school. And then even then, you go to a private school, you are being you have to learn whatever curriculum that they put in place. They're not going to be set to the same standards as public school education.
Teaching black shit, though.
Which is really like, it's to say, is that even a standard in the first place anyway?
They might be teaching something educational and beneficial to that person, but they're not teaching the true identity, which is also just as much beneficial than you learning how to be in this capitalistic world.
Yeah, they're going to say there was black people in history. Right. They were slaves or they helped free slaves. They didn't really do nothing out besides that.
Facts.
Man,
guys,
not during Black History Month.
Yeah, it's the middle of February. We just have Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And KaBria said she wanted to talk about love in the black community. So KaBria, you want to kind of explain what you wanted to talk about when it came to love in the black community?
Yeah, of course. I'll take it from here. I just been thinking about like Valentine's Day that just passed, as you mentioned. It was a few days ago, and it just made me start thinking about like my idea of love and like where did it come from, and specifically being a black woman, like how did I kind of figure out like what does my ideal relationship kind of look like, and like, you know, kind of who helped shape that, you know. And so I was just thinking about it, and like my parents were just back home for a family situation, and like I was just thinking about how much my mom and dad like love each other and like what that showed me. And then I thought about like who else kind of influenced my thoughts, and I thought about my grandparents and their love for each other and like the different time periods and like the different ways that like my dad and my grandpa kind of like pursued like my nana or pursued my mom, and like how their relationship is today and stuff, how long they've been together. And I'm saying all of that to say that it just made me think about like that love, and then it made me think about like the love of like friends, and like for example like my goddaughter, and like seeing like I always tell people it's just so trippy because it's like, or I feel like your friend has like siblings, because it's like you literally see them growing up for as long as you've been friends with that person, and I think that's just like really beautiful. And I'm like, I think about that love. Then I think about like romantic love and that experience. Like this is like all the thoughts I was having this week for real. And I was thinking about how beautiful that is as far as like finding people and like growing and like learning how to love yourself and like love people. And then I was thinking about self-love. So anyway, I'm saying all of that because I just think it's just cool, and like people should appreciate and like look at the different experiences that you've had and realize it's all was done like through love. You feel me? And to teach you. And I'm saying all that to say I really do be thinking that. And so, and it was Valentine's Day, and it was like, damn, think about all the times you felt loved and people make you feel loved, and it's like, damn. So yeah, that's my little hippie kind of spit,
right? Especially coming off the conversation we were just having about America, like. Yeah, you have to, in this day and age, in this life, in your everyday walk, what I'm starting to learn at 25 years old is you have to take every single good moment, time, second, anything that can just lift your spirits up. You have to take that and like really cherish those moments. When you're talking about being around the people you love, talking about doing things with the people you love, friends, family, really cherish those moments, because you never know how many more times you'll get just having those moments. It's like you're focused on so much other stuff. You're focused on trying to make that bag, trying to get that bag. We're chasing that bag. We're always money driven. We're always goals oriented. And it's okay to be that. It's okay to be focused and passionate about the things that you want to do. But make sure you cherish those moments in life where people show up for you, or where people are just there. You have a funny moment where you'll always remember it for the rest of your life. Like those are the parts of life that really matter, and that you have to that you have to embrace, because you're not going to get many of those moments. It's not set up for us to get a billion moments with our family and always be with our family. No, I got to be at work. I got to supply. I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So you can always get stuck in that mindset.
For sure.
It's just important that we just take the time out just to embrace that.
Right. Like, I feel, for me, I feel like the one thing about, or the one thing that stands out for Black love, I say, is also like the one thing about Ebonics that maybe other people outside of the culture just have a hard time understanding. I feel like there's a certain set of nuance and context within Black vernacular, and as well as Black relationships, whether that's with like your immediate family, your mom, your daddy, your brother, your sister, or whatever, or your friends or your significant other. There's just a set of understandings just growing up as a black person that we just know that we walk a different way. We breathe a different way. And when we go into a space, there's just an energy that coincides with one another that I feel like just elevates or just puts black love on a different pedestal. Right. So I feel like that's why we have like when we have like our people disrespecting black love, that's when our elders get really offended, because not too long ago the only thing we had was that black love. Right. So our culture, our language, and our love is just like the foundation of everything that really what it means to be black. And over time we are of course losing a part of that. Not to be on my Dr. Umar saying that interracial relationships are going to be the death to black people. Your biggest responsibility to black people should be to the black woman or the black man. Ooh. Yada yada. Dr. Umar. She knowing a lot
different conversation, different day.
But now she knowing a lot of it. That was crazy. That was a good.
I do say that all to say, because I understand why Dr. Umar says that. I get it, right? But at the same time, understanding that we are the direction that not just black people, but the world is in. The direction that the world not only is in, but is moving. We are not just so secluded to just being around strictly black people. So, niggas gonna mix.
Is that gonna happen?
Niggas been mixing forever.
To get rid of black people, so then there's no racism.
Yeah, mulattoes. Everybody's gonna look the same. We had our mulattoes before Dr. Umar. We had our
think about
before.
It.
Like,
that's
people
a good
have
way.
Been mixing.
Racism doesn't exist, and in 50 years, everyone is all mixed together. So
it's gonna be the next thing.
Was it racist?
It's like, oh, what are you mixed with? Yeah. How light are you? It's going to be back to colorism. Back to colorism. So? Well, that's why they say white people are trying to get their stranglehold tight on right now, because they recognize, like, I think they said like 30 years.
20, about like 2050 or something like 2070. It's gonna be bye-bye. Right. Well, they just won't be the majority anymore, and that's gonna be big.
Yeah, they'll still be here.
Yep. Shout out to everybody that has somebody that they love in their life, no matter if that's your family, friends,
imaginary
anybody,
a dog,
anybody that can hold you down in this world, in this crazy world. Just shout out to them, and yeah, this is another episode of The Rising.